Hi everyone, this is Sensei Jerry Valido with Valido Martial Arts. Today we're going to be doing a video specifically for my students who are training for their yellow belt rank. We're going to be covering the 10 required American Kenpo self-defense techniques in order. And after my little video clip here, I will be putting a list up on the screen for your reference. Make sure that as you are training your techniques to pay attention to the details that we will cover in class, because in these videos I'm not going to be going over too much detail. Some of the important parts I will be explaining, but a lot of the details of each technique I'll be going over in class. So use the video wisely, make sure you watch it often, and if you have any questions we can cover that when we see each other. Alright, so have fun and let's get started. Alright, moving right along, we are now going into our next technique. Technique number 7 is called checking the storm. Checking the storm is for a right overhead club attack. Okay, now we're assuming that this individual attacking you is not a weapons expert. Okay, the attack is in the ideal phase is assumed to be something like this. You know, kind of haphazard, but nevertheless overhead. Because anybody that trains in weapons probably won't attack you like this. They'll probably attack you from more of an angle. Okay. In this case, however, this is an overhead, a step-through overhead club attack. Okay. So, in this particular instance, the technique is called checking the storm. Anytime you hear storm, it's going to be for some kind of club attack, and we're checking it. We're not necessarily going to stop it, but we will check it. So, we're going to do what's called a double parry, utilizing the concept of double factoring, which is not only one thing protecting you, but another thing protecting you as well. And as we do this, we're going to step off 12, 1, 2, right to 3 o'clock. We're going to step our right foot into 3 o'clock with this double factor, and we're going to turn our body to face 10:30 as we land in a 45-degree cat stance. I'll show you what that looks like right now. So we're going to go. Okay. Now, this is the idea. I'm moving and evading as I'm doing this double parry. I'm getting out of the way. So I'm going boom. And I'm keeping my hands up. My cat stance, my heel is basically in line with my other heel. Okay, it's not way out here. It's right in here where it should be because I want to keep my stance proper. I don't want to open up unnecessarily. Okay. So, first movement again, step off to 3 o'clock, face 10:30 in that cat stance. Okay. Now, from here, what I'm going to do, once again, this is a transitional cat stance. I'm going to take my left foot. I'm going to do a snapping ball kick right to the guy's groin. When I put this foot down in the direction of 10 o'clock, it's going to be a gauging step, meaning I don't know exactly where this guy's going to be after I kick him in the groin. Maybe he stepped back, right? Maybe he stumbled forward. I don't know. You'll have to figure it out in the situation. That's just the way fights work. So, once again, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to turn my foot as I step down so that it will allow me to do a knife edge side thrust into his knee. And I'm going to plant forward with a snapping back knuckle right to his temple ideally, and cross and cover out. Once again, I don't know what part of his head's going to be facing me. Could be his face, could be his nose, his cheekbone, I don't know. Whatever the case, snap big back knuckle right to his head. Okay? So, one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So with the help of Mr. Calkins. So, for this technique, we're going to start opposite sides this time so you can kind of see what's going on with his weapon. So as he steps in, okay, very dangerous here, okay? I don't want to be in the way of the stick, hence my movement to the side and my covering, all right? If I happen to catch the arm while I'm doing my double factor, fine, just don't get hit, okay? So slowly, he comes in, 1, 2, I gauge. If I step too far here, I can't do my side kick, okay? So I'm going to step down right here in this instance. My hands are still up. I'm going to kick to the knee, snapping back knuckle, and I cover up. Okay, slowly again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, from the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's a special proviso, if you will, with this particular technique. I'll go on record as saying it's not my favorite technique. And coming from a weapons background in Eskrima, I don't like that the technique doesn't address what to do with the weapon. Okay, the technique addresses how to hit the guy and kick the guy. However, he still has the weapon as the technique is written. Okay, so I've just taught you the book version of the technique. Now I'm going to teach you the way I want you to do the technique. You'll do both ways on your test, but this is a little safer. Okay, so as he comes in, I'm just going to do this without stepping real quick. Okay, I'm going to do this double factor again to his arm. I'm going to do 2 open hand slaps to his arm, but the second slap is going to grab. Okay, so that's what I want to do. Now, if for whatever reason I can't grab it and it goes there, okay, then it goes there. Once again, this is ideal phase. In the real world, it may not work perfectly. You still go through your technique. Okay, but ideally, 1, 2, and I have hold of the wrist. From this point on, I do the entire technique just the way it's written. I kick, I snap, I back knuckle. Now, when I do this back knuckle, before I cover out, I'm going to go underneath his arm. I'm going to grab the weapon. I'm going to go underneath and grab the weapon, and I'm going to step through and pull. And I'm going to anchor my elbow to the side as I pull, and I'm going to cross and cover out. Okay? If you want to get a final shot in there with the butt end of the weapon, you can do that. Just make sure you have the weapon. Okay? So let's go on the other side here really quickly. A little slowly, so let's go right here. So as he comes in, 1. Now, in the first technique, I may have gone a hair further out because I'm not concerned with grabbing. Here, I'm concerned with grabbing. Okay? Once again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I reach under, pull, and cover out. Okay? This particular method, what we're doing here, is taken from the system of Eskrima, Filipino weapon art that I study, called Hironarnis Eskrima. And what we're actually doing is, this is the way we check, where we're actually controlling the guy's limb. So I've decided to teach my students this particular method. I feel it's safer. Okay? So slowly again. 1, 2,